Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Stanley with Standley Handcrafted, and I've got allergies, a cold, my throat is all messed up, but I wanted to make a video today on how to perfectly center wicks in two different styles of container. Now this is a method I use quite a bit, and I just wanted to put together a quick video. It's gonna be like an overhead chalkboard style video, and it's basically gonna be how to get perfect centered wicks in a vessel that you can see through, and also a vessel that you cannot see through. And both of these methods work extremely well for double, triple, and up to like 4 or 5 wicks, depending on what you're doing. So we're gonna go ahead and jump over. I'm gonna go ahead and do the demo and then show you exactly what I do. All right, so I've got a simple jar here. We're gonna go ahead and make basically a bullseye so that we can get perfect wick placement in any type of see-through jar. Now, obviously this isn't gonna work well for something like this, but I'll do another video on how to wick the inside of that, and it's as messy as I'll get out. But so basically, if you want to find perfect wick placement on this one, I'm going to show you an easy way to do this one. And we're going to use just a piece of paper, a marker, and of course a ruler. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make a line, and we're just going to do basically X marks the spot. So and then I made the line on this side too, so that you can just get a perfect X. And this diagram would work for any size jar. So basically what we're gonna do right here is, once we've made that, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna mark this. We're just gonna go ahead and mark it every centimeter. Don't need to go too far out with the jar that we're using. And depending on the jar that you're using, you can make these smaller. But basically we're just gonna have, if you remember back from geometry, just a basic XY graph. But don't worry, there's no calculations on this one. So basically, you're just going to make this right here. And then depending on if you're doing 2 wicks or 4 wicks, there's another way to do this for 3 wicks, but if we're doing 4 wicks or 3 wicks, basically what you're going to do is you're going to find 2 points on this, and you can see right through that, which is great. So you can basically put your see-through container directly over that. And if for this one, we'd probably use this one and this one, because that fits perfectly inside that jar right there. And then once you get that perfectly centered, and the way that you can tell it's centered is these outer marks right here. So the jar fits on 3 lines, or actually the 4th line, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. So if you place your jar, now of course this is going to be different for almost every jar, but if you get your jar centered directly in between all 4 of those lines, right here, and then of course right here, you can't see it on the back side there, but it's the same spacing, so that you know your X marks the spot is directly in the center. And then when you go to place your wicks, you're basically just going to use the stick tabs, and you're going to place it right over the 2 dots so they're evenly spaced. And you can do that with any size container. Now, if we wanted to jump over onto a container like this that we can't see through, here's probably the best way to do this one. So we're basically going to go through, we're going to do the exact same square that, or excuse me, the X that we did before. And then we're going to go through and make our lines again. And these lines don't have to be exact. You're just using these as a marker. I mean, you want them as close to the centimeter mark as possible so that they're even, but if you're off by just a touch, it's not going to be a huge deal. So basically what we're going to do with this one is we're going to create the exact same X, and then we're going to mark this. Basically, we're just going to flip this over, and we're going to place it. So this one goes in between, right in between the 6th line. So I marked 6 lines out on each of these, and it fits almost right in between all those, just perfectly. So I'm just going to go ahead and trace around that. So now we've got, you can see that's perfectly centered. So for this one, if you're going to use 2 wicks, and you can choose your placement right here. So for this one, we'd probably go right in between 2.5 for these. So we'll do 2 wicks on this one. So basically what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And I'm going to try to cut it just on the inside of the line that we made, just because, or just to, so it'll fit a little bit better inside the container. Try to cut it as close as possible to a perfect circle. So what we've got is a perfect circle that'll fit directly down into this thing. And what we're going to do with this one is we're just going to go ahead and poke a hole right in the marks that we made. And then we're going to go ahead and drop that right down inside there. And then you're going to take a Sharpie or anything that works, and then you're just going to go ahead and mark inside those little holes that you made. Now, of course, the paper wants to move around, so if you've got a bigger Sharpie, this would just make a dot right in the center. And then when you pull that out, you can't see it because this is a mess, but if you had a Sharpie, you would basically just make a mark just directly in the middle of the 2 holes right there. That way when you pull this out, you know exactly where your 2 wicks are going to go, and then you just place them right on those 2 dots. All right, so that's pretty much it. Very quick and easy. That method works extremely well for almost any vessel that you can think of. The only one that it's not going to really work well for is a lot of people will have like a star-shaped pattern. You can definitely use it for that one, but those you're probably better off just kind of eyeballing and testing those. Any round vessel or even a square vessel, this method is going to work extremely well. It's very easy with a see-through container. You're really not going to mess that one up, and you can make that any different way that you want to. Like the quarter method that I do in another video where I make the 3 lines to do a 3-wick candle. You would basically do that same method with the clear vessel if you're going to do the 3-wick candle. But if it's a double or a 4-wick, you would use the method that I just showed you. So again, very quick and easy. I just wanted to jump in here, show that one. I had a lot of people ask me about that one, especially off of the last video when I did the quarter method and the 3 wicks and everything like that. They wanted to see something with a double or a 4-wick. So I definitely wanted to get that video put out there. So like I said, that's pretty much it. If I glossed over anything, or if I missed something, or if you wanted a little bit more clarity on anything like that, just let me know in the comments down below. I try to go through and answer every single one. If you don't get me in the comments, you can always send me a message through Instagram, Facebook, my email address. All of that stuff is listed down below. And of course, you can follow me on any of the social media platforms that I have listed in the video description down below as well. Facebook, Instagram, my website, the email address, everything is there, along with consulting information and the ebooks that I released probably about a month ago now, step-by-step guides on how to make candles with a bunch of different waxes. I've got all the links down in the video description. We've got PDF links, and then I've also got Amazon links if you actually want like a hardcover book. Not a hardcover, but an actual physical copy book. So I hope that video was helpful. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, and thank you for watching.